Hey, I'm Braden Russell.
And I'm Ara Derderian, and today we take a look at the Sonos S5.
So we're big fans of being able to listen to your music in any room in your house, well, pretty much every room in your house. And in the past, that meant getting a multi-zone receiver and running speaker wire all over the house to get the music. Well, the Sonos S5 system we'll be talking about today makes that whole thing a snap. Just plug it in, and wirelessly you can have music in any room in your house.
Setup's quite simple, but follow directions carefully. The first zone player that you connect, you must connect it directly to your router and then make your connection. Now, if you've got a zone bridge, you can connect that to your router and then make the connection to your network that way, and then you can connect each individual S5 to the zone router wirelessly. Once you're connected on the network, you point it to where the music library is, whether it be iTunes or you just have a folder with all your music, and then you're pretty much good to go.
Right, and like you said, the last step is to hook it up to your music library, which could be iTunes. You install some software on the computer, it'll scan your whole music library and instantly make all your DRM-free music available to any of your zones. But the S5 isn't just for your music library, it doesn't just do iTunes. You can do Rhapsody, Pandora, Last.fm, a whole bunch of different online sources as well.
So let's take it and put it through its paces.
So what you're looking at here are the two main portable control options for the Sonos S5, the iPhone or iPod Touch and the Sonos dedicated remote.
And so in this case, we've got the living room setup and an office setup. So let's put it through its paces. I believe what we're doing here is we can go to the living room and you can select some music. I already had Van Halen playing. Then we're going to switch over to Pandora, and you set up your account, and then all your radio stations show up. In this case, I believe I picked 1990s grunge rock, and the first song comes up is Interstate Love Song. And then we switch over to the iPod.
And if you noticed on that view that we just saw, the music changed up there on the living room, and you saw that as soon as you chose music on the Sonos remote, it showed up on the iPod. Now we're using the iPod to do something very similar and play music in the office zone. So here we go to the office, and we can actually sync the zones together pretty easily by checking them both there, and watch the Sonos remote change and show you that now we're listening to Pandora, but controlled by the iPhone.
And what I think is really cool about this, Braden, is that it's instantaneous. So as soon as you do something on one controller, it switches almost immediately on the secondary controller, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So, and also the other thing I like is the implementation is almost identical between the two. It's hard to tell where one is the remote and the other one is the, if you're just looking at the interface. I mean, you can tell one's an iPod, but it looks almost identical.
And of course, there's more than just Pandora. You can listen to music from your local music library, search by album, artist, find what you're looking for, and of course, got to get some Foghat, right?
Yeah, and a little bit different than, say, your iPod or some of the other players. When you select a song, you can go right into it, comes up, and then you have a couple options. Like you can play it now, you can put it in the queue, you can put it at the top of the queue. So you have a few options. Now, I know with iTunes, there's an iTunes DJ that has something similar to that, but nice touch here where you can start lining up music for your party in the middle of playing a song. You don't have to just stop it.
And let's say you're listening to some Lifehouse, but really what you want to listen to is what's on the radio right now. Well, you can get to all of your local radio stations directly through the Sonos.
Right, and what's nice about that is where I live, I don't pick up, we're going to hear CKLOS, it's a Los Angeles radio station. I can't get that very strong here on my receivers, but it comes in very sharp and nice. And so this is all coming over the internet, and I think it's a great feature, but you're not limited to just your area in Los Angeles. If you got a radio station in Chicago, you live out of town, you can listen. You know, everyone knows I'm a big fan of Chicago. I was born there. So it can pull up radio stations from there. We have a great radio station in San Diego, KGB 101 FM, and so you can listen to it.
And you can search by city, you can search by the name of the station, search by call letters. You can find radio stations all over the country.
Right, and very easily from the remote control. So a great feature that the Sonos system has that a lot of other whole house music systems don't. All right, so we continue now with the desktop application that Sonos has. So all the control that you saw from the remotes is also available from your PC or your Mac. And literally everything that we just did, you can do here as well.
Right. It's a little bit more convenient. So if you have the option to sit down at the computer to get your cues in place, because you want to get your party rocking, you have more screen real estate. You can see more things at the same time. And you can see we're building the queue of music, getting that ready. You can tell it what zones to play in and get your whole party set up, or, Saturday morning chores, get it all set up from the computer. Just hit play and let it go.
Right, playlists. Of course, if you have iTunes, you have playlists on there, and you can select those directly from within the interface. However, if you just have a lot of music and you're not an iTunes fan, you just have a folder full of music, you can set up your playlists here, and then just hit play, and whatever mood you're in, you probably have a playlist for it. And cleaning the house, you got a mood for cleaning the house music.
Cleaning the house, yeah, whatever gets you done faster, right? And you can see all the zones, you can control all the zones, change volume in all the zones, sync them all, play them all with different things, all of it from this app. We're looking at the Mac version, but there's also a PC desktop version as well.
And this is what's easy here. We're showing that you're inserting the call letters for the radio stations, and the radio stations just come up a lot quicker. Well, maybe they come up at the same time, but it's easier with a keyboard to type this stuff and then trying to peck on the small interface of the remote control.
Yeah, one of the things that Sonos has done well is they've thought about the user experience. And if you need to get to it, it's easy to get to. If you've never used it before, it's easy to understand. You probably won't have to visit the help at all. It's a very user-centric design from their desktop app to the remote to the iPhone and iPod app as well.
All right, so now we've put it through its paces, and here's our opinion. The Sonos S5 is a really nice system. It's clean. The aesthetics committee will like it. It's a self-contained unit. You don't need to connect external speakers. You don't have to find a power supply. You literally plug it into if you have an Ethernet connection, into the wall for Ethernet and power, and place it anywhere in the house. But if you're using wireless, you just need power to it.
And it's super easy to use. The remotes are easy. The desktop interface is easy. It's just a very simple system to get your whole house audio going. You don't need the multi-zone receiver with speaker wire run everywhere. You just need a box and some software and you're good to go.
So our recommendation, the S5 goes for $399 for the unit itself. The remote that we showed you goes for $349. But if you've got an iPod or an iPhone, save your money on the remote and buy yourself another zone for another $50.
Right, because the remotes themselves were pretty much the same.
Yeah, if you already got an iPod Touch laying around, let's say you're not even using it for music, maybe it's just laying in the drawer, you don't need a lot of memory, just the 16 gigabyte. The smallest iPod Touch you can find is all you need to control the device.
All right, so that's our review of the Sonos S5. We'd like to thank our sponsors who help us do all this, and go watch some HD TV.
And we'll see you next time.